like, wow.
Okay.
We're gonna call you D. We ain't saying no Tay. We ain't telling everybody who you are yet. Although when they see you, they're gonna be like, "That's Tay."
Well, you use my alter ego, Marcus.
Who?
What?
That's your ghetto name.
Lost side kind of ways. That
That's my name when I go to Vegas.
What you be doing in Vegas? That you gotta have a whole new
it stays
name.
in Vegas.
Yes.
All right.
We'll talk about that next show. Are we live?
I think so.
How you gonna do this?
I gave you a whole countdown.
No, you did not.
Did you not just see that whole countdown?
No.
I did.
Thank you.
What? Y'all see the numbers?
It was 30 seconds.
Listen.
I ain't trying to hate, but you know.
Hey guys, we are live, and today we have
D.
alter ego,
And Pornisha.
and we are pretty much continuing the conversation that we started before. What was that, like a month ago? Wasn't that long ago? No. But it was very interesting. We started talking about today we're really talking about mental illness and how it relates to our community, relationships, all the violence that goes on in our in our community, and so on and so forth. One of the things that got me when talking to Tay, we had started a conversation. I was like, let's save for the show, save for the show. He's like, no, we're going to talk about this now. And the reason being is because so many men has had so many different experiences in relationships and with baby mamas. And I hate to say that word because it's really a thing, but it turns into, it just makes the whole community look crazy, you know? But to his points, he was saying, why do baby mamas do this and why do baby mamas do that? And I had all this backup for us, ladies. I'm like, first of all, we not all baby mamas. First of all, you have to earn that title. It's earned. Either you're the child's mom, a baby mama, or an ex-wife.
Period.
And either way it goes, we most definitely have to protect one another. I think in all essence, we do need to protect our people, protect each other. Women protect one another, and men. So we brought back to the point that, and another thing that he brought up was how men don't have enough support in the community, and that's something I totally agree with. I think that Black men don't have enough support in the community. They don't have enough support in a lot of areas. And why that is so, I can't explain, but it's something that we definitely need to work on, acknowledge, and talk about. Let's go ahead and start with D or Tay. I'm going to call him Tay today because he brought up some pretty good points. And I think I'm going to piggyback off him because one of the things that he brought up was how that baby mama name is earned and his perspective on how sometimes we carry ourselves as baby mamas and how that is a reflection on the relationship between the father and the child.
Baby mama is just a title. Just same way you said baby daddy. Some people aren't being called baby daddy. What about the father of my child?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta bounce back on that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's situation is different. Only thing is at that point it's not about the baby mama, it's not about the baby daddy. At this point it's about the child.
It is.
The child didn't ask to be here.
Mm-hmm.
No child asked to be here. We brought them into this world. So it's like, when do we come to a point of compromising one another where no compromise is going on? I don't want to say we get full of ourselves or we like, why do some women, I don't say all women, why do some women use that child as a way to keep that man around? If the man wasn't around before the child, what makes you think you bringing the child into the world is going to keep the man there? Mm-hmm. That's things that I think about. Or using that child as a possible, if you ain't going to be with me, you ain't gonna see your child.
Mm-hmm.
Where just because I might be a deadbeat boyfriend or a deadbeat husband don't mean I'm gonna be a deadbeat father. You gotta separate the two.
Right.
It's business and personal. Just because I might not be a good just because we weren't good in a relationship don't mean that's not gonna stop me from being a good father. So we gotta separate that. Like some women put their emotions in it versus being logical, saying, yeah, we didn't work out as a couple, but we need to do what's best for this child.
Right.
Well, do you think that once the father, because most times we did have this discussion, most times the mom does take the full responsibility of the child in most cases. You see the mom having the permanent responsibility of raising that child. I mean, in the home, paying the light, gas, electric bills, the rent. And then we brought up, why does the father have to pay probably $500 a month in child support when the cost of living now is $1,700 a month without, especially if you have one or more children with this lady, emotion comes with having a kid. You have a kid, that's a lot of emotion right there. And then to raise a child without the father in the home, that's a lot of emotion, especially for women, because we desire that. We would much rather have the father in the home. So once you have that disrespect going on in the relationship, where whatever happened between the parents to cause that disconnection, I think that there still needs to be some type of relationship where the father remembers that mother may have that child probably 75% of the time, while working, while probably going to school and maintaining a job at the same time, having to cook, clean, do laundry, pay bills. All of those things come into perspective when you're having that child 75% of the time. You have to take that into consideration, and then you're dealing with that hurt. So there has to be, and that's when mental illness comes in as well. And I don't think that and from my opinion, in my opinion, I don't think that the mom purposely wants to use that child as a what do we want to call it? A pawn. You can say a pawn to keep the father around. I think it's more of, I went through this hurt and this pain. I don't want to see my child go through it in any type of way. That's our baby. We don't want to see that child experience the hurt and pain that we have had to experience. What do you think that we can do in the community to change and bring that same energy? Because you had a whole lot to say, and I really, bring that same energy and we need it, because it's such a debate, in our community when it comes down to perspectives. Men have one perspective, women have another, baby mamas have a perspective, the wife, the ex-husband. I mean, we all are dealing with these things, and it's all different kinds of situations. So, bring that energy.
You have to understand there is a change of generation where I believe the best gift that God has created was a black woman. I won't take the fact that a black woman has raised me. My grandmother raised me. My great grandmother raised me. Most women I hung around with were single parents. They did the roles. They did the roles. I would never take away from the fact that a woman does beyond being a wife, a mother, a friend. She does more. But us bad dudes get the rep because of what other dudes do. Like, there are some good, decent fathers out here that take care of their kids. But it gets overwhelmed by the ones that don't take care. Now, I can't respect them. Me personally, I just can't respect another man that doesn't take care of his kids. But also, why do women date men that have kids and they don't take care of their kids? So it's like, why would you put yourself in a position to be with a man that don't want to take care of his kids?
His own kids, right?
So that means if y'all ever hook up or get together, he ain't gonna take care of your kids. So it's like, why put yourself in a position to be with a man that don't take care of his kids?
But do you think that a woman goes into a relationship knowing that? Do you think men front?
Some do.
Absolutely.
Do you think men front?
Absolutely.
Okay, and give off this energy like they're a good father, they're a good man. All men do it. And then you say this woman has all these baby daddies and all this stuff. It was because they be lying.
True, but my thing is, if you have one, and see, I gotta play in between. Like, if you have multiple kids and all the dads ain't doing nothing, okay. After the first one, if you knew that dad wasn't going to be there, why would you continue to have more kids knowing the pattern that's been
You
established?
have a point there.
If I have a child, like one thing about my mom, she only had me. I'm the only child on my mom's side. My dad, I'm the oldest of 11. Ages ranging from 36 to 9. My mom was smart enough to say, he can take care of you, so why would I want to have another child by him? Versus he had multiple women having children, so you guys allow that. Like, at the end of the day, a man doesn't put a gun in your hand and say, sleep with me. It's just like it's a two-way thing. If a man lays down with a woman, that's the consequences that takes effect after that. So it's like two grown people making a decision together.
Mm-hmm.
So we're both at fault.
Mm-hmm.
But why continue to have another child by another man when the first one ain't even taking care of his responsibility? So why even put yourself in that particular situation after the first man ain't doing what he's supposed to do?
I mean, but every man is different. You can't just say because I had one child with this man and he didn't do right that the next man gonna do the same thing. Now, like you said, back to your point, if that man already has children and he not taking care of the children that he currently has, and then you lay up and have a kid with him as well, and you've had enough time and opportunity to see this man is not a good father to the children that he already has, then yeah, at that point you kind of being a little foolish because you already saw he not doing what he needs to do as a man with the children that he already has.
Mm-hmm.
However, you know, if you are with a man, let's say you have one child, but you get with a man and he has no children, you don't know him to be a father. So how would you know? You know, you're not going to know what he is going to be as a father. So you can't just say, well, I'm not having no more kids by nobody because this one man was not a good father. You know, you have to, I mean, that's just life. It's Russian roulette to a certain extent with life in general, because you just never know what hand you're going to be handed. So, you know, you do have to be wise. You definitely want to have wisdom. You want to use your judgment correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if a man doesn't have children, there's no way to really look at that and say, oh, I know he's going to be a good father, or I know he's going to be a bad father. You have to give him the opportunity. I've also seen fathers that were not good that have at some point turned a new leaf due to some sort of situation in their life, and they come turn around and try to be a better father.
Yeah.
So I can commend even a man that can recognize that I was not a good father. However, I want to try to be a better father. You know, some men don't have a father role model in their life. They don't even know what a father looks like, to let alone try to be a good father.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when you deal with mental health in our community, it's a lot of men out here that don't even have a father, never saw what a father even is. They saw mothers as fathers. You get what I'm saying? So how can they know how to correctly be a father when they never had that image portrayed for them?
Absolutely.
But with that, you also got to not use that as a crutch. And a lot of people in the Black community do that, even with disabilities. Stop using that as a crutch. Oh, I wasn't a good dad. My dad wasn't a good dad. Or my dad wasn't shit, so I ain't gonna be shit. That's why I can know. Break the cycle.
Absolutely, I agree.
My dad wasn't nothing. My dad's dad wasn't nothing. I had to break the cycle. Meaning, when I had kids, I said I'm gonna be the dad to my kids, no matter what. And even if their mother wasn't together or not, I was still gonna be with them, because that's separate. Like, you're not gonna keep me out of my children's life. It just, that wasn't how I raised. The men in my family, we're going to do two things. We're going to work, keep a job, and we're going to take care of our kids. I don't do nothing else.
Amen.
I'm going to work and take care of my kids. Everything else becomes secondary after that. But it's a generational thing where it's the different generations now. Like, back then, the men worked. The men were the providers. The men did the work. Women stayed at home.
Mm-hmm.
They stayed at home. They cooked, make sure the house was prepared. And people may not like this, but a lot of women back then, I don't want to say perceived, they dealt with cheating differently than women.
I knew you was going to say that. They had whole other families.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes.
Like if like our great grandparents or some of our great uncles and them, they took care of the responsibility. The women that have to work. So if he went out and did his own thing, whatever he wanted to do, most women were accepted to it because of the lifestyle. Like, he's paying all the bills. He's taking care of the family. He ain't bothering me. As long as he's taking care of my family, I don't care. Or I don't know nothing else. I ain't working. I'm a housewife.
Yeah.
So if I confront him on why he cheating and why he's stepping out, then there's like I take that risk of me getting kicked out the house. I have nowhere to stay, where this man is providing all these qualities for me. Sometimes you put look at Tina Turner. She put up with that for what 30-something years.
But women ain't going for that no more.
No, not some of them, but you do see a lot of killings with men who have these mental illness and everything. You have some women that are fearful of their lives.
They killing them left and right.
They're killing them left and right. So we're looking at a bigger issue.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to explain to you before. When it comes down to mental illness, that happens in men and women. And sometimes women have low self-esteem depending on how their upbringing was. I met a guy who he was just like a guy I bought some merchandise from here and there. I'm not going to get too descriptive because I'm telling a story that I haven't okayed with someone yet. So I had met him and he was such a sweet person and I can call him every time I needed something. And come to find out he was a single father. He was a single father and the mom had walked off. And that was just a different scenario for me because I'm not used to seeing that.
You don't see that every day.
And he had about 3 or 4 children that he was taking care of his own.
Wow.
And still working this side hustle and had a full-time job. And so I went to go and visit him, pick up some things. And I was talking to him and that's how I found out. He's like, I had to get home to my kids, what you need, this and that. And I said, oh, you got kids? He said, yeah. I said, you married? And we had been knowing each other for about 2 years. And I had never known this about him. And he had told me that both of his parents had passed away, one after the other, due to drug use. And he ended up on the streets by himself.
Wow.
At the age of 13. And I said, nobody took you in, child services, nothing. And he said, no, I lived in the streets of Chicago. And he slept on a train or he slept at his friend's house and barely went to school or anything. And that was just a really interesting story to me because of how far he had come. And I would have never thought that. And that's what brought me back to assistance and help for fathers who do want to take care of their children. Do you think that a father can go down to DHS and say, I need childcare or I need to get this or I need to get that because I'm a single father?
Mm-hmm.
That mother can go and still get assistance while that father is struggling with those 4 kids. Did you know that?
There's more programs out here for, like I said, there's more resources and more tools out here for women. There's women rights, women's shelters, women group homes, but there isn't too many resources for men.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Why just like you go to bathrooms, now they have family bathrooms, but before they didn't they didn't have family bathrooms or unisex bathrooms. What about men who have kids and want to change a diaper? Where do we go? I don't feel comfortable taking them in a men's room.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially when you have a daughter. Yeah. So that's very important to discuss and raise an eye because or bring some attention to because that's important because nowadays you're getting more and more men who want to take care of their children. It's just not baby daddies and baby mamas out here anymore. And also I was watching India Royale, how I don't know the full story. I don't know if you guys know what her and Dirk going through right now.
So are they broke up? I heard they were, but I don't know.
I think they broke up. But how she's handling it, I always liked her. I always admire her.
She seems
for
very
the way
humble.
that she's very humble in the way she's not. Even though they were never married and they were supposed to be getting married soon, the way she carries herself, and this is what separates us. And I'm going to this for a reason. This is what separates us. The way that she carries herself, she's not in the media. She don't need all this attention.
Right.
She said, you done with. And we're going to take care of these kids. And I don't need anything else. And that's the perspective I'm getting from her. Yeah. That's how I'm looking at everything. The way I see her, looking at her pictures and everything she's moving on in life. Not every woman has that. Not every woman was raised to have that strength. You know what I mean? Some women and some people don't have resources within the family, their own family. Look at this young man raised himself, and he's looking for a way to take care of his children. He's not just a baby daddy. He don't want to be just a baby daddy. He really loves his kids.
He wants to be a
father. That just really touched my heart because you don't see that. A lot of men seem like they're just giving up, in a sense where it's like where there's no resources. I don't get no say so. Even if I'm paying $500 in child support every month, I still don't get any,
And
it's like I'm not even
Wisconsin,
there.
Wisconsin's a woman's state.
It is. It is when it comes down to marriages and baby daddies.
Child support.
Because you don't have a child's father when it comes down to the dad. And I just feel like men get it so, in our community, they get it so bad. And my heart goes out to you guys. I just hope and pray that things change. I don't know why. I think the system is designed to bring our men down. I think that there are more men out here who really want to take care of their children. But it's a depressing thought, when it comes down to where am I going to get my resources
but you just
from?
made a
Who's
point.
going to help?
You just made a point, though. You said, but you guys want men to be understanding of women's needs, but how come the roles can't be reversed?
That's the question.
Men go through just as much stuff
as
women do, but women have support groups. Women have this. Understand, as a man, we have always been conditioned.
That's the problem.
Men are not supposed to cry.
That's
men
the problem.
Not supposed to express their feelings. Men are not supposed to show expression. So what do men do? They suppress it. They suppress it in drinking. They suppress it in smoking. They suppress it in sleeping around.
Yeah.
Suppress it to do that void. And then what happens in reality when this is being suppressed and not addressed, now this woman, this wife, this girlfriend, this baby mama, this daughter, this niece gets killed, gets hurt. Look at the news in the past 2 years of how many women have died, have gotten hurt, or have gotten domestic violence because of a man beating her or killing them. Me personally, there's nothing you can do to me that will make me want to take somebody else's life. There just ain't nothing that bad for me to take another person's life, especially a woman that gave birth to your kids, like
your children.
They killing their kids too.
At that point,
that's a whole nother level.
That's a mental illness.
That's a mental
illness. Whole nother level.
That needs help.
That's a mental
But one thing that we do in the Black community that gets on my nerves, mind you, I'm saved. I love the Lord, but first thing we will say, just take it to Jesus. No, that's just part of it. Like, let's pray about it. No, praying about it should also have a sense of common sense.
Faith without works is dead.
I mean, you have to do your part. Meaning, go get help. Go get medication. Go see a therapist.
Absolutely.
Praying about it is only the first part of it, but what are you gonna do on your end? Get some help. Go see a therapist. Black people don't believe in going to see
and they should.
Every day should be. Let's go to the altar call. Let's go to church. That's just only part of it. But get the help and the tools that you need to help you through that.
Absolutely, I agree.
Go to church now.
I agree.
That's our remedy for everything.
I agree. Because depression is real. Some people are truly depressed and they, like you said, are suppressing it instead of really dealing with it. And then, boom, they just blow up. And next thing you know, they done killed their wife, their girlfriend, her kids, their own kids. It's just like, it's so prevalent these days. These men killing women and the children. Like, you burning your own kids up? Like, how? Like, you cannot be in your own mind. You have to be the devil all up in that. Like, you have to be dealing with a whole nother devil, because that's not natural. That's not normal to want to just kill your own children. Like,
and I say it over and over again, hug your sons.
Yeah.
Because we always think about our daughters and them getting hurt and the men hurting a woman, but your son need the love.
Absolutely.
And need that, and I even had to learn that as a parent. I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah.
I have one son and a stepson.
Yeah.
And I love them dearly, but it's harder to get through because they got so much pressure in the world until they think that lovey-dovey stuff is just way too much. It's overrated for them because that's just not ideal for what's happening in our community.
Right.
Love is just it's a strange thing when it comes down to our men and our young men. Things didn't used to be like this, though. We used to stand outside and turn on a fire hydrant and watch the kids and have somebody on lookout. And we used to have a good time coming up and everybody looked out for each other. And I saw one of the guys come into the restaurant and he was talking to me. And he was like, when I first came here, it was really segregated here in Milwaukee. He said, but we was able to sleep on our porch, and he said it wasn't all this violence and everything. What's changing? And I do believe it's drugs.
Absolutely.
I do believe drugs is becoming more prominent in our community. I've heard things where they drop drugs off. They bring them over in trains and just drop it off in our community. And that I always watch little documentaries and stuff from different places. And this guy said they just drop drugs right on over here in guns. just drop guns off in our community and keep going.
Mm.
You know, we got to be stronger than that.
Yeah.
You know, and it starts with, I believe, our men. As weak as we say that our men are, they are our strength.
But you just said something. It's the generation. If a woman is raising a child or raising children on her own, if she's raising a son, that young man does not have a sense of a father figure in that house. So the only authority figure that he sees is the woman.
Mm-hmm.
So which makes it hard for that young man to respect other women or respect other men, because the only disciplinary or the only authority figure in the household is a woman. It's a woman. So it's like he doesn't have. People say I believe both children need their mom and they need their dad. Just think, a young man needs a man to show him how to shave, how to drive, how to treat a woman. Just like a girl needs her daddy to know what it feels like to be loved.
Yeah.
Because if a young lady does not have that void, then she goes out and suppresses it. Meaning
Absolutely.
sleeping around, doing things because
Looking for love
because the love that she was supposed to get
from her father.
She's not getting. So
Right.
she's going to all these random dudes trying to get the love that the father didn't do.
Yeah.
What is our solution? That's when everybody get quiet to me. I mean, I'm serious. Like, we can complain all day long, but I still believe that there has to be a solution. And you say, okay, we can pray about it. I ain't gonna go against nothing you just said, because you did bring up a point. People saying, okay, well, we just take it to God.
Yeah.
Yes, we can take it to God, and I believe in that. But at the end of the day, there's still no resources.
The solution should be stop having
having children.
Stop having kids.
Yeah.
That's what I want to stop having kids. You can we gonna be. How can
I mean, and now though with the new laws, it's like, how they gonna stop that? Because now they cutting that off to even for them to stop having the kids, even when they get pregnant. Like they can't even stop that. So it's like that's gonna be even worse now. You know, we got a whole new issue that may
why
occur.
put somebody into the world
That
when
you
you
can't
can't even
fool
take
with
care
them.
of yourself?
Absolutely.
Not even that. Like, if you're gonna bring somebody in the world, be ready to. I. It's so hard for me to say this because I feel like, just in my own personal experiences, I feel like who doesn't want a kid? You know, and if you don't, then you don't. But
Yeah.
I always wanted a kid.
I always wanted a child.
I want a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, mothers want a kid. I don't know how men always feel about that. Some men don't, especially like in different cultures and different countries and stuff. You look down upon having
Right.
all these kids, and then sometimes if you have a kid with a disability and different things like that, you look down upon. You don't know what you're going to end up with. Yes, we was able to sleep on our couch, on our porch back in the day. People was more together. Yes, people was more together. And, you know, that's changed. So much of that has changed because a lot of these women are trying to raise these young men on their own. And then where's our resources? I have an idea I want to talk to you about after the show. But there are some things that I think that we need to just come together and come up with resources or things that we can help. There's all type of help. Now, if men don't have resources, if they really want to do it, there's all types of government funding for them to get something started to help these young men. These OGs used to help these young men, and you know it. It used to be a time
Big
where you're
brother
like,
kind
boy,
of
if you don't
situation.
get yourself off that porch and go take your grandma garbage out, and those values have seemed to diminish. Like, you can see an old woman walking with bags, and you don't see one young man help because they're not being taught
pumping
that.
Gas,
Nothing, just nothing. Just it's nothing. And
they'll rob old women now.
I seen a lady.
That's their
I
target.
literally saw a lady holding her baby, getting off the bus. You know, when you get to go down center and you get to a certain point, the bus don't go no more. So you got to either get off or you going. What is it? Holton?
Yeah, I think so.
I was right there, right behind the bus, going north behind the bus. The lady got off, and I'm like, what is the holdup? Because the light was changing, and she was taking bags and bags and bags off the bus. Wow. And I'm just sitting here looking at her. She had her baby. The baby had to be 1 or 2 in her arm. 3 men got off the bus.
Didn't I name one of them?
Went across the street and got on the other bus stop. I got out of my truck and I said, I know you don't know me, but I'm taking all your bags and putting them in my truck. You can drive if you want to, but I have to take you home.
Yeah.
And I had my baby's car seat in there at the time, and she trusted me to take her home. But it's just ridiculous as to what, and I was willing to sacrifice because I didn't know this lady or what house I was taking her to. And those are the things that we even think about nowadays. Who are we putting in our car? Who are we helping? What's going to happen if this happens? But, you know, even like, I believe the police force has changed.
Yeah.
You know, they used to be a little bit more nicer, you know, and then helpful, looking at the community as if they wanted to grow in a positive way. But there's so many things that's happening on the back end until it's damaging everything else around us. We can't even help one another anymore.
Yeah, we're afraid
without
to
being
because
afraid.
you don't know what people are going to do. I mean, I've been in the exact same situation. I remember a young lady and her baby out in the snow, New Year's Eve. And I'm leaving church. It's 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. She just on the street with
Somebody
her baby.
said, who's making sure the mental health of men is okay?
That's what we're talking about right now.
No
The mental health of men is so important that we learn. And women, I'm just saying this. I'm gonna be the one to say it because I don't feel like it's said enough. And I know these men get on our nerves. Let me just say that before I say this. I know these men can turn us upside down with the things they say, they do. Things happen on the back end. Like, I know you men need help. I know y'all want support. We want to support you. But it's going to take for you guys to let your guards down with the ones that really do love you and care about you.
Absolutely.
You know, when you find somebody that you really do love, know that you can't have every woman you see.
But know that too.
No,
there's some women that has motives as well.
Yeah.
But like she just said, you know when they truly love you.
Know when somebody
when
loves you.
A woman go out her way and bend over backwards for you and have been in the slums with you.
I know it's real.
I mean, the gutter.
You go pick up your medication, and you know it's real.
You know it's real. Now you done watch Tyler Perry. Y'all know what's right and wrong. But
well, she might put you in that tub. Don't have you blowing the bubbles.
You know it's real.
Right. Listen, I'm just saying. I see so much. Like even me, I can go somewhere and I can be with my spouse, and men still looking. What are you looking at you with your spouse?
They don't care about that.
It's stuff like that. You know, pay attention to what you got.
They be like, "Are you happy?"
And that woman, I'm gonna tell you, 9 times out of 10, that woman is taking care of that man, being there for that man, and everything. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then talk about y'all need all this help, and then all this support. Like, do right.
As a man, if you always gonna find another woman attractive, is when you pursue the attraction is different. But if a man looks at you, what's wrong with him looking at you?
That's disrespectful. But see, the women, somebody.
But it's the women that
you sitting with a woman and you looking somewhere.
I'm saying you staring at, but if you
look
and you having to glance over, women, y'all do it too.
Don't be glancing.
But we do it with
respect. We do it with respect.
Y'all do the same thing. Y'all do a little more.
He over here.
We might look up and be like, that pancake look real good.
Y'all still looking though.
But still, it's in a different. Don't be Googling.
Like y'all cheap, but y'all just better at it.
Y'all walk behind us so you can look at what's. So we can't see what you looking at because we're in front of you.
Right. Playing. Sometimes we might just be like, I'm getting chicken next time.
Disrespectful.
Y'all just too disrespectful, and then be talking about. I seen a meme, and I forgot exactly what it said, but it said sometimes men, sometimes people don't know a man goes. How many times a man goes in this hotel room or in the bathroom and just cry or feel so alone, like they're gonna lose it all, and then put on this face. Like, listen, let me say this because I'm gonna support y'all, but let me just say this. Men supposed to be strong. Men are supposed to have that backbone. And men are supposed to stand up. And men are supposed to protect home. They're supposed to.
But if men are most men are not in that environment where they've been raised by that man to show them that.
Women haven't either.
But
some women haven't either. Some women haven't either. Am I wrong?
No.
Some women haven't either.
Some women have had terrible moms, as a example.
But y'all either had, if y'all didn't have terrible moms, you had a grandmother, had an auntie, men.
Somebody.
You didn't have that father figure. You'd be surprised how many men that don't have fathers.
I believe.
But I always being molested.
Yeah, but I always feel like if you didn't have that, shouldn't that give you even more drive to be like, I'm not gonna be what my father was?
If you have that strength,
why is that the man's responsibility?
Why is what the man's responsibility?
And then my other guy, he said, he likes when other men like his women. Look at his women.
A woman,
but then that be never mind.
Say,
So if I'm with you,
no,
if I'm walking,
I was just gonna say that's how some of
If
them
I'm
women
walking
get
with you-
killed though, because it be another man and they can't handle that
that's
ego.
insecure. Every man is the same way. If
I
I'm with
agree.
you, another man look at you, I ain't gonna trip. I know what I got.
Some men will.
Some of these men crazy. They don't play that.
Like, why you
Be
looking
ready
at
to
you?
kill
You met him at Walmart,
you
didn't
look
you?
good.
Like, what? Like sometimes,
And y'all do the
that's
same
like
thing too. Oh, you awfully friendly with her. Where you know her from?
Yes.
Yeah, where do you know her from? Sure.
Say hi.
But y'all be awfully.
You better say hi and be like, yeah, this is my girl.
Right.
Well, you too friendly when you say hi. Well, how the hell am I supposed to say hi?
Nobody will feel no type of way if you like, this is my wife or this is my girl. How you know, this is so and so.
Like, oh, this is my friend. Woo woo. That's all you gotta
Don't
do.
be like, hey
Real
girl, how
quick
you
and
doing?
easy.
All right, y'all take care. And then we gotta say, who was that?
No
We
acknowledgement.
should have had two guys on the show.
No,
We ain't beat you up. You ain't beat you up.
No.
No, we got a guy in here somewhere. He know he better not.
You good.
But what I'm
You
saying
ain't even
is,
got them problems, do you?
No.
All right, then.
yeah,
So,
he done learn
you
with me
good?
because I would go on and on. But what I'm saying is this: I believe men do need more support, and I can't argue that. I can't argue that. But when you're with a woman, that is your responsibility. And the things that you haven't learned, you will learn from that woman. Trust me. If y'all love each other enough and you respecting her enough, understand that you're gonna learn from that woman. That woman.
Let me
is your
ask you-
backbone.
He said people relying on gender roles is a little bit toxic.
No,
People relying on
because you
gender
were
roles
created-
is toxic.
Gender roles were created by God.
Yeah.
So you have
You
a role
can't-
in life.
That's your role is your role.
Yeah.
Your
Ain't
role
no-
is
ain't
your
no
role,
going
and it's
around that.
always been like that since the
Well,
beginning of the
if
time.
we're gonna go on the roles, tell me why women under 35 don't cook.
I don't know because I'm not okay with that.
I'm
so
just-
I'm not okay with that either.
because everybody got to eat, and especially
Yeah.
if they have children, they
Yeah.
definitely need to
That
know
don't
how
mean
to cook.
nothing.
They need to know how to cook.
Lunchables, hot pockets. And
No, I cook
No,
every
we
day.
shouldn't do that.
I cook every day.
They need to. They definitely need to know
I
how to
cook
cook.
every day, and you have to clean up too.
Yeah.
I cook and clean at the same time. So I mean, I can't speak for that because I'm not.
Let me ask you this as a man, why is it so because you have those roles where you have to be strong and you saying that you were conditioned, why do you like okay, even though you are conditioned and you know that, why is it that when you are hurting, like you can't just let it out or you can't trust somebody that you love enough that you can be vulnerable with to get the help that
like
you
I
need?
said, men have been conditioned not to communicate.
Right, but you know that mentally. So when you know that you're being conditioned, why not break that chain, as you
And then
said?
some women have a way of using that at the wrong time, using that opportunity when you do express yourself to use that other opportunity against you in an argument. So my thing is, you don't keep bringing up my past and stuff. I'm just sharing information with you.
Well, you
that's the logic of some men. Like if I'm being confident and being confidential with you,
I understand that.
And then we get to an argument, you bring up the shit that I told you about, and then you using it against me. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't trust you with nothing.
But that's the thing. You have to find the person that you can be vulnerable with.
Exactly.
You know who you can be vulnerable with.
You're not
vulnerable with.
for
You know
everybody.
exactly. You
That's
know who
number
gonna
one.
use
Number
stuff against
two,
you.
women. If I can just say this, because this is the way I see it, and this is what I know just from the women I've been around and everything. Women are nurturers by nature, and we don't want to hurt you.
No.
We don't want to hurt you. You have to 9 times out of 10. I didn't say 90% because the other 10% I don't know what's going on, but 90% of the time, a man hurt a woman first.
I knew you was gonna say it because that's the
a
truth.
man is hurting a woman first, and if we hitting back,
Dogging
it's because
us
you
out.
hit first.
Yeah.
If you saying something, we saying something to hurt you.
But
You
how
said
did,
something to
how
hurt
did, you
us.
said men with a gender role, we created them. But how do you know if you're not taught? You just said men need to be strong. But how does I agree that how do the men know how to be strong if he's never been taught how to be strong?
If you love somebody, right? That's where you go back to. If you and I have a relationship and we plan on building, right? And you got some hurt and some past issues that's going on in your life that's causing you to hate women, but you see a woman that you know got some true values, even with all your insecurities. First of all, seek some help. Get some counseling together, number one. and be willing to do that. But number two, don't dog that woman out.
Listen.
You got yourself a good woman.
Yeah.
Why not learn from
why
you?
treat them
It's
bad?
all gonna come together
Yeah.
if you treat that woman right.
Women will bend over backwards for anybody that they love, and it's just unfortunate that the men that they love are the ones that do them the dirtiest.
The worst.
And it's like, dude, I'll do anything for you if you just treat me right.
Yes.
And most of the time, I mean, you got your fake women.
Right.
You got your fake women for sure that just want the hair, nails, toes, give me money.
Yes.
But you have genuine women that it's not about that. It's about let's have, back and forth love towards one another. You don't even realize a woman that you look out for and do right by, she gonna do that 2-3-fold because you don't find that every day. So just like she's saying, if you don't find good women every day. No. So when you do, why get them and dog them out? You know they good. You know that y'all be knowing off top. Y'all know what woman is good and what ain't. Y'all know, but y'all still will dog that good woman out with something that ain't even worth it on top of that. And it's like that woman will do anything for you. Most of the time, they done been through the trenches with you. I'm talking about met you when you ain't had nothing.
Nothing.
You was raggedy.
Y'all
We probably didn't either.
Y'all want the man with the slugs in his mouth, the man that takes care of his kids.
And not nobody at this table.
The ordinary man that works every day, that works hard every day.
Not when you get a good woman. When you get a good woman, that's what she appreciates.
They want roughnecks. They want.
We talking about them raggedy women.
But let's not do that because there's some good roughnecks.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely. That take care of their families too.
Everything is created.
That's true.
Everything is created, even bad ones.
That's true.
Now, if you see a bad woman, it was created, and it was created because somebody done did things. Probably one of you brothers that done did it.
No, it's one of them
I'm
niggas.
just playing. I'm kidding. But what I'm saying is, it was created somehow. Yeah. That purpose instead, that woman that you see
some
out
pain
here walking
came from somewhere.
Even when you see women on the street selling their body.
Yeah. You don't know what they've been through.
You don't know what that woman has been through. You got to dig deeper. You got to think deeper, and you got to step outside the box. Everybody done been through something. Yeah. I don't see men out here with their pants hanging and talk about them, or with gold teeth in their mouth and talk about them, or hurt men and say bad things about them, because you don't know. Even these young men that ended up using drugs or doing things with their life that they just didn't have nobody. You got women that moved from out of town, came to start a family here, and ended up with nobody because this man done lied to them. Now they raising these kids by themselves, depending on the system, trying to make it the best way they know how. They done left their family because this man done told them, I'm all you got. And then they, it's all types of situations that bring people into situations. So you really can't look at people and judge them. You don't know what brings a person to want to do drugs.
That's true.
What brings a person to make them want to sell their body? What brings a person to not even think about their children? It's all kind of mental illness that come into place. You just have to have a heart. And this is what we used to have. We used to have people that cared. We used to have people that be like, nah, dog. Now this is where I have a problem. When we see that and we see women out here, and we whether like sometimes I can be out. It happened to me today. I'm ordering food. I'm smiling. I like to smile, especially when it come down to my food. Like I ain't finna treat nobody mean who preparing my food. Listen, we're gonna be best friends right now. I will give you a tip. Let's all be nice.
Right.
Okay. And then you get attitude from women and like, why are you angry?
Because you're pretty.
No, because that's the first thing we want to think. I see beautiful women all the time. I see beautiful women every day, every single day. I see handsome men. I see nice looking women, and I can accept that because I love it. I love it.
You can. They may not can.
Right.
They may not
but
be able
that's
to.
when I turn back and say that's an internal thing.
Yeah, it is.
And we still have to be. We have to be mindful enough to think about what is this woman going through when she's serving me or when she's doing these types of things. Her husband may have just said, or she probably just saw a picture with her husband with another woman, or she probably just her kids are probably at home hungry, or anything could be happening. That's why we have to be more mindful with how we treat one another. I haven't always been this way. I used to sit there and be like, what are you doing? Seriously, I really want to know, what are you doing? Like how? Like this doesn't happen. You can't be, mental illness is not that bad. Now get it together. Why aren't you taking care of yourself?
It's that simple. And
it's really not that simple. And it's becoming worse and worse because we won't acknowledge the problem and we're not willing to do anything about it. reach one, teach one. Each person that you come in contact with is an opportunity to. You see a young man outside doing something that he ain't got no business doing. You ain't got to be afraid of. Look, dog, look, and you find resources so you can give it to him, so you can tell him whatever it is that you can do as a person. If you willing to do it, let's start helping our people because y'all don't know. It's other stuff happening behind the scenes that make it worse for us if we don't get on the board.
I remember I was at I was somewhere by Deer District. I think it was at one of the games when it was the playoffs, and we encountered this young guy. You know, they wear these masks now, and you just like, okay, it's hot in the mug out here. Why you got this mask on? So I'm kind of goofy too. So I'm like, boy, why you got that mask on? It's hot. Like, you know, I was a little afraid because I know he young. You know, these young kids is reckless. They don't care.
Things have changed.
But I just was like, I don't know, something. And I felt compelled to say something. And I said, boy, why you got that mask on? It's hot. And he said, I don't want to show my face because like his mom had just died a week or so before. And he said, I don't want to show my face. Like I don't have, like basically I don't have nothing to live for. And he was just so broken. And God made me talk to him for whatever reason, you know, and we just prayed over this young man. I mean, young. He probably was 15, 14. I don't know him from a can of paint, but that's what our community dealing with. Somebody else, and even me, I can honestly say, judging him, looking like, boy, what you on? You finna go rob somebody? Like, what you finna do? You know? But I took that opportunity to speak instead and found out it ain't even about that. I'm dealing with something totally different. My only survival out here in this world, my mom just died. Like, I don't have nothing else.
Yes.
And had we not talked to him and prayed over him, I don't know where he is today. I still got his number. We reach out every now and again, but I encouraged him to like apply for a job. He was applying for a job at Deer District at that time, but you just never know. You just don't know who you could touch because you don't know what they're going through. Like, it's that simple. So just saying something.
Said society does not accept men expressing themselves.
But that's where we go back to what we just said. We're not looking for a society to do it right away. What we're doing is working on a solution, right? If you got a woman who is there for you, you know, in any relationship, who don't want to be in a relationship and be loved? Whatever you do, whoever you love, whatever it is that you do,
right?
Respect them enough to confide in them, you know, and then that whatever you do at home projects to the community. That's what we able to put out.
We also have to make it a norm. So, you know, we got all these trends and trendy things that we do. Why not make that a trend? Why not begin to show emotion? Think about it with the pandemic and how Black people just united like out of nowhere. Like, why we can't do that? Why some man got to stand up and encourage other men to stand up and be emotional and be honest and be forthcoming and be truthful about what they feel and be unedited and make it a trend. You know, especially if you're a popular guy, if your city know you and you known for, you know, you just known in the city, you have a voice. Use that voice to, you know what I'm saying, encourage others. Hey, I'm a man, I'm crying right now and I'm going through this, that, and the third. And, you know, this is okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay. And I'm seeking help and I'm blah, 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 blah. And it can become a trend if more and more people are willing to step out and step up and say, I'm not going with what we used to do no more. We used to act like men were so strong and we can't cry and we can't. It's actually strength to me to see a man cry. Like for you to be vulnerable enough to say, I'm going through something. That's strength to say, hey, I'm struggling right now. So that's real.
So I said, are gender roles important in this day and age?
Gender roles, I would say yes.
I mean, we need to go back to it. I think that the roles have gotten, you know, it's kind of a gray line now because, you know, you got women that want to be men. They want to be the strong one. They want to run the show. You got men that want to be with those women and they want to be the man, but she won't allow them. You know, you got that.
Talk about that.
You have that.
You said that.
It's okay for you to be independent. I'm not
absolutely.
I'm for a woman being independent, but at the end of the day, if a man comes in, allow him to take care of you too.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of women nowadays that this is becoming a trend where everybody is, I'm in my soft era now. I want to be my soft, you know, be more feminine, more soft, because women are so hard sometimes that they don't allow themselves to be soft. But at the same time, you got to remember too, where does that come from?
I know
for me personally, my mom was a single mom. So low key, I was kind of her man to a certain extent. And I was pretty handy. You know, I knew how to fix stuff and do stuff. So to this day, my mama, if her lights go out, the lights done went out. Like, what you want me to do? I'm a whole woman. I ain't nothing I can do for you. Like, I'm a girl.
My mom
but it's
is
my
that
mama.
way.
So I grew up with her always, you know, her depending on me to do stuff because there was no man in the house. I was the child. So it's like, okay, what can you do? And it's to this, I had a brother, an older brother, but she still looked at me as the person that, even to this day, when something go wrong, she calling me first. And I'm like, you got a whole son. What
But
you
see,
calling
look what
me
type
for?
of woman you are today.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be our downfall because it was 3 women in my house. My mother will lay towel on your floor. My mother will go in. My mother is so strong and to a point where it's almost that she's so strong and independent.
Mm-hmm.
She's a short little lady. We know how to do our own hair, took care of ourselves, did everything on our own.
What that got to do with anything?
Say that again.
What that got to do with it? Why you can't drive a cement truck?
Sometimes that could be our downfall because we can't look at a man for their purpose.
Yeah.
And that's why I said.
Because that make it hard on a man who's old school. Like, I'm used to providing all this, but you have to understand, man has to understand this woman has been the only, she's been the head of the household and the woman. So, like, you can't expect her to come in there and take care.
You got women taking care of men these days, unfortunately.
But
you know?
that goes back to what? In your household, however the layout is, that's y'all stuff.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I just feel like respect is gone out of our community.
Absolutely.
If I'm the type of woman that's strong, I take care of the household, and I want my man to stay home and take care of the kids, okay, that's how it's going to be. That's our arrangement.
Exactly.
But respect has left our community. And this is what we're talking about. Respect and consistency. We barely get time to get together and do anything. Why you looking somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
Why you worried about anything else that's going on outside of this restaurant while we chilling?
But you think about our culture is different. You look at the Hmong community. We make jokes about it'd be 20 of them in a house, but they do not go on their own until they are all financially stable.
I love that.
The house.
Yeah.
You know, black folks, you know how it is. When you
18, you out of here. Yeah.
Or 21, you gotta go. It's like, but they don't do that because once they believe you out the house, then you out the house.
You ain't coming back.
You ain't coming back. You ain't going back.
And you're able to take care of yourself. That's why you're not coming back.
Sustain yourself.
Yeah, but not everybody can.
Yeah.
I see a man said, or I don't know who this is, but it says it's easy to blame a man. She was who she was before you met him and after. That's true.
But it's true. It is true.
That's for men and women.
You can never change.
That's for men and women.
No.
You can never change a person. That's why it's somebody for everybody. Know who you're supposed to be with.
Now, I do believe a good woman after time can possibly change a man.
Yeah.
A good woman probably could change his outlook.
Well, he has to want to change. Exactly.
Yes, he will.
He has to be open to whatever ideas or whatever she's providing to him to give him a new outlook.
The best thing to say is change comes when you get uncomfortable.
Okay.
That's true.
People don't change unless they get uncomfortable.
That's
like
true.
If I'm sitting in this chair and I'm hot and I'm uncomfortable, what do you do when you're uncomfortable?
You're gonna shift.
You move.
Yeah.
You shift. You're right.
But if I'm okay and I'm content where I am,
absolutely,
and I don't want to go anywhere else, then I'm just gonna stay where I am.
There's no growth
because I'm content.
Mm-hmm.
There's no growth,
and that's what our issue with our black community. We're content with being content.
Yeah,
we're content with being average. I just want to be average, or I just want to have enough to take care of my bills. No, I want to be enough where I can take my bills and more.
Yes.
Why do we settle for less? Why do we settle just to barely make it? Yeah. I want to be in a season of abundance, overflow.
Yes.
I want to overflow. I just want to just barely make it.
Yeah.
And not even that. I feel like a relationship in our community now just looks like being together and having sex.
Yeah.
Sex is just like the basis of the whole relationship. No, you're supposed to be together and have a plan to grow. You become a team once you have somebody you think you want to marry or you want to have a relationship with. You got to start coming up with a plan, opening businesses, doing something for the community, whatever it is that whatever your talent is, you need to reach out to that and encourage one another to increase whatever it is that you have within you.
And that allows y'all to grow together.
That allows you to grow together.
Y'all invested in something. Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't just coexisting. You know, when the two come together and invest in something together, there's more than just our relationship. We have something else developing here that we have to groom and, you know, watch develop and grow. And if it's going in the right direction, that also develops your relationship outside of that, because y'all have developed something together. And that could be with including your children. You know, cultivate your children together, pour into your children together, and that keeps you together. You get what I'm saying?
And it keeps our community from not growing into this sad society. And then, you know, I really love, you know, who I admire the most, like out of couples just out, even in the industry, is Keisha K and Gucci Mane. I just really love them. I just think that they do such a with what I see. Yeah, I just think they do such a good job. You know, they invest in one another. She held him down. Regardless of what his situation was. And this is the kind of love I'm talking about. When you can look at one another and say, I want to see you grow. Yeah. That takes the focus off everything else. When you are growing together, it ain't no baby mamas and baby daddies, and you know, they keep their kids out of the limelight. They don't do all of that stuff. It's about, that's when you know you're serious. When you do things for other people, then other people can come in and destroy and take everything away from everything that you thought you could do.
That's most likely why Beyonce and Jay-Z so private, because they like, y'all ain't finna come up in here messing up our empire.
Yeah, they're private, but I do think that they experienced a lot of problems, you know, you know, because that's been seen. For sure. And that's why I say Keisha K and Gucci Mane, because, you know, nothing's perfect. And I know they probably have their problems too, but their growth is something, it's an example, and it's something we could see.
But like you said, she held him down when he was at his worst.
He
came out and put that praise back into her. So that's where it was reciprocated. It wasn't like she held me down, then I get out of jail and go get with some other chick after she done held me down when I was at my worst.
Charlie Wilson and his wife. You know, she helped him. He had a drug problem. She got him off of drugs.
I didn't know that until recently.
Is she younger than him? Is she a younger woman?
Yeah, I didn't know that until recently. She sure did. She sure did. That was a.
But he probably poured back into her too, knowing that this woman changed my life. You know what I mean?
For the better. That goes back to what you said. Yeah. A woman will do, men, listen. Anything. A woman will do anything for you when you love them and do them right. And it's not a lie. Woman. It's not a lie. Pour into your woman. Do what you're supposed to do as a man, and you will not have no problems out of your.
How does a man pour into a woman if he never been shown or never been in the proper environment to pour into a woman? That's why he's talking about the mental health part with these men killing their girlfriends and whatnot. I believe some of these men never been, just like a girl never been shown a love from her father. What if that man has not been shown that love from his mother or grandmother? Then how is it possible for me as a man to show how to support you and love you when you have to be taught love? Like, how do I know if my parents were not together, if I don't see an example of love, how can I love you when either two things, I don't love myself, or two, I've never been in the presence of what love is?
Do you think they know that though? Like, are they aware that I don't know how to properly love? I don't know how to blah, 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 blah. Because I feel that is possible a lot of times. However, those are the things that you have to voice, because you can be taught how to love at some point in your life. I mean, no, it's not going to be an easy transition. However, everybody don't love the same anyway. Everybody doesn't require the same type of love anyway. What she may need to be feel loved, that may not be my thing that get me. That's the love languages. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody got a different way of how they want to be loved anyway. So it's really all about communication. If you know that I don't know how to properly love, I don't know how to be a good father, I don't know how to be a good mother, you got to speak up and say, you know what, I never had a good mind.
And I'm not excusing the shit that men do, but there's a small portion of men, if they never been loved or never had a woman to have their back, most times if they have a woman comes in their life that does that, they don't want that, because this is not what I'm used to. Mm-hmm. So if it's something I'm not used to, I'm not going to be okay with it. If it's a woman coming near me that's taking care of me, that she got my back, I ain't used to this. So I'm going to, in most cases, some men going to
self-sabotage.
I'm trying to sabotage it before it gets serious. I'd rather push you away rather than it get close, and then I have that thing in the back of my mind, I'm going to get hurt, or you going to get hurt, or I'm going to hurt you. So I'd just rather just step to the side.
Why get into a relationship?
Exactly.
If
Be
you get into
single.
a relationship, be single. If you
Just
feel
do
like
you.
you that hurt and you don't want to go get no counseling or anything like that, don't go ruin somebody's life.
Just do you.
Just do you. But at the end of the day, that woman, if you find a pretty good woman and you compatible with that woman, you got problems, that woman is, and y'all love each other, that's how God made us. That woman gonna teach you how to love. I guarantee you.
She gonna beat it in you anyway.
She gonna
like,
can't
she
wait till
gonna
you
tell
get
you
home to
what's what.
hug you and say, my baby, you had a long day, especially if you communicating with her, letting her know everything that you've been through. That woman gonna want to.
Yeah, but it's when sometimes we come in the house, y'all want to talk, y'all want to argue, shit like.
Because you
created
it.
Let me get
you
settled in.
created
And
it.
sometimes I want to argue at some of the most inconvenient times, and then get mad.
When
Like,
is a convenient time to argue?
not doing football, not doing.
Y'all want peace at football and this real life stuff
Not
going
when the
on in the
housewives
house.
of Atlanta on, then we can talk. But we ain't talking
No
about the
housewives.
basketball game.
Nah, I'm saying.
You stupid. Why? Every man say that. Y'all always want to talk during basketball or football.
Why is it
It's
something
like
to talk about?
Why is that more important?
We ain't
Why is
bothering
it
y'all
something to
doing
talk
y'all
about?
watching MTV or Love and Hip Hop. We ain't bothering y'all. So
But
why bother us?
why is there something to talk about?
But women gotta stay with men.
Why is there something to talk about? Why during the basketball game something's hurting your woman that bad that she have to talk to you?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Y'all,
What did you
and
do?
then y'all want to piss us. First of
Stop
all,
doing stuff before the football game.
when and one thing that bothers me when men are pissed, leave them the hell alone.
I can somewhat agree with that. Give
When-
it time.
Give it time. And when I'm
Yeah.
ready, I'm gonna come and talk to you about it. But it's like picking a mosquito bite. Like you keep picking at it, keep itching at it. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Put some alcohol on it. Leave it alone. When I'm ready and calm and have collected myself, then I will come to you. Because in that time and that heat in the moment, I don't know what I'm gonna say, or some men don't know what they're gonna do in that time and
Yeah.
moment. So give them time to relax and to think it through.
I get
Just
that.
like y'all need your time. Just like y'all talking about, I'm going to take a bath for 20 hour. You don't take that damn long to wash.
It
So
do.
we know
It
that
do. We
y'all-
feeling
Time to
good.
do, especially at
no, you
bad.
don't.
We be
Especially
listening to
if
our
I don't know.
music.
Yeah.
We in
Man,
our Epsom
yeah.
salt. Quit
Man,
playing.
if a woman tell you she's taking a bath for 2 hours, the first 20 minutes she's washing herself up. The other hour and a half she's getting the hell away from you. Come on now.
Well, yeah.
Because your
That's-
time to relax.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just
So
like
give us
y'all.
our time to relax and calm and cool.
Well, go get in the shower.
Go take you
If
a bath.
I don't work all day. I don't work all day. I don't want to come out with all that. Let me get settled in first.
Ain't no settling in when you done made somebody mad, depending on what you did. Ain't no settling in. Ain't gonna be no
Y'all just
settling
be
in.
wanting stuff to get brushed under the
You
rug.
don't make no rules after you did something wrong.
And sometimes it ain't about.
We gonna get this conversation
I'm
off.
saying depending
It's
on what
timing.
it is.
We
It's
finna
timing.
get this conversation off.
Depending on what it is,
Listen.
you don't get no time to relax. You coming home,
If it's not
you been
severe, then
relaxing all
yeah.
day away from me while you was at work.
Listen, 'cause
Then
y'all
you
be
can-
having fun at work. Don't play. Y'all be happy
you
to
be
go to
enjoying
work, so
yourself.
y'all get up out the house for the
Yeah,
men that
yeah.
live with
When
their
you get
women.
home, get ready. When you get home, get ready because it's going down again.
Yeah.
I'm picking a double overtime. I'm picking up an extra shift.
Yeah,
A
Let me
man
come
will
in.
do the same. It's the person, not the gender, I think. True.
Somebody says,
A man will do the same. It's the person, not the gender, I think. So I think you saying a man will do the same for a woman that we saying we'll do for a man.
I believe that,
It
that
is,
there
yeah.
are some men that
It's
will.
not the gender.
Yeah, I believe there are men that true. It's I've seen it a lot though. It is unfortunate, kind of going back to what you said earlier. Like you get men that you have some really good men, but they link up and love on the wrong women, and then those women either take advantage of them or just treat them any kind of way. You really just take advantage of them. That's really what it boiled down to, because they taking they kindness for weakness. And it's a woman out there that would love that man. And then that man gets broken. Because, women endure a whole lot more than men as far as like heartbreak and stuff. When men get heartbroken, it's kind of like, oh, I ain't finna do that again. They gonna love on some one woman like real
once
good.
that one go bad,
It's a wrap for the rest
It's
of
a
them.
wrap.
it's a wrap.
It's
And
very
other
hard for
good
them
women.
to bounce back
That's
from
the
that.
thing. It's other good women. It's
There
other
are
good men.
a lot of
But
And
men
then
don't want to, at that point,
They don't want to take a
they don't
chance.
wanna- They don't want to invest that time.
No,
again.
they don't want to take
No.
that chance again. And
Why?
it's-
You got your
we
whole
take it
life
over
ahead
and
of
over again, and then we become men. Don't realize, they look at us like we bad, but it's like, how many men done dog me out, or not that many, but I'm just saying, you encounter men and you time and time again, you going through possible heartbreak, and it's just they're creating more and more, hurt, pain, rage, and you just as the next man gets you, it's just worse and worse because she's been through so much from that time she get from that man to the next man to the next man to the next man. Then for men, that one woman hurt y'all. Every woman after that is a wrap. Like
They all the
it's
same.
all bad.
Every other city you go.
And we try to
Every
love
other
again.
video.
We try to
No
open our
matter
hearts
where
again.
you go.
All cities are different.
No, it's not true though.
Women try to
down south. It's a different.
men down south
it's a,
too
it's
is
a
different.
field. Hospitable.
I'm
good.
sure.
Like it's a whole. Like I went to school in the south. It's a different vibe.
What's the vibe?
Why you back here
It's a
then?
different vibe.
Yeah, what you doing here?
I got
What's the
family.
vibe?
I'm just saying.
Why you ain't bring Big Bertha back up here with you?
Women are different down south than they are up
Different
here.
like what?
Why you didn't bring
For
Bertha
one,
back?
they cook. I ain't talking about cooking glory greens and saying cook greens. No. Somebody that went there and picked some greens and put some turkey necks in there.
So you don't know how to cook if you don't know how to cook greens? What you
Man,
saying?
The best way, what they say?
Everybody don't like soul food.
What? Through his stomach.
Everybody don't like soul food though. Why black people always gotta go to greens?
Cause a real man, I don't want no hot pocket. I don't want no lunch.
Damn
I want a real meal.
But greens
And that's
ain't gotta be
understandable.
always.
That's all understandable. Everything that you're
I
saying.
agree
but
though.
don't be
Women
saying,
need to know how to cook.
now it don't matter if you're from the south or wherever. Women are women and men are men
Just
because
like y'all have that
everybody
expectation
is
what a man wants
everywhere
as a
now.
man,
Things
you
ain't
want
like
a
it used
woman
to
that
be.
can cook.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Talking about from the south.
Go on, get Bertha and bring Bertha back up here.
We all-
Bertha
we
can
can
make your
cook,
chicken
too.
and dumplings and your greens and cornbread,
some
fried
hot
green
water
tomatoes.
cornbread, some good food.
Cause you gonna get this Jiffy in Milwaukee.
I want the jiffy.
Well, we
I
gonna
want-
go.
I want the cornbread that's burnt at the bottom.
Ah,
A little black at the
That's
bottom.
burnt at the bottom.
Yeah, in the cast iron skillet.
that's hilarious.
We're gonna go ahead on and wrap it up. At the end of the day, R. Kelly got what he deserved.
Look, R. Kelly
Lil
got a hit
Durk-
song
Lil
out right
Durk-
now,
Lil
don't he?
Durk, go back and do it right. You're gonna have to pay child support and get your woman.
Just like I said about R. Kelly, that don't take away from him. He's still a musical genius.
He got a hit
He's
out
a
right now,
musical
don't he?
He's a musical genius. He's
He got a hit
straight
out right now.
You know that song he got?
Straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played the match.
And he's
Child.
still.
While he was in
And he's
jail.
still.
I don't know where it
Yeah, it
came
must be
from,
something he made. I think he made that before.
but it's
anyway.
cold. I ain't gonna even lie
Because if
to
they
you.
taking all that man canteen, they ain't letting them make no music. But at the end of the day, watch how you treat people. Watch how you treat your man. Watch how you treat your woman. Men, I'm with y'all. I think y'all tripping. I think men do deserve more support. Women, let's try to get together and help our men and be there for our man. Let's cook. Let's take some cooking classes. And men, stop cheating. Then y'all can get a good woman.
And men be more vulnerable.
And men,
Open up.
Open up a little bit. Cry a little bit.
It's okay.
And women, be more submissive.
What we submitting to? We can be, but what we
We
submitting
can't
to?
wrap
though?
this up. I'm telling y'all,
Okay.
it's got to
Let
be
me
a
be
part
quiet.
two. Because look, we can't never end this conversation until we see a change.
Period.
I love y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease.